I can't. Arch makes his own decisions. He's got. I mean, the greatest backbone in the history of the sport, right? So, he's a great player. He's a great kid. He's got a level head on his shoulders. You know, God, he's going to have. I mean, you think like Peyton and Eli had a lot of pressure going to college. I mean, he's gonna have it. But I think he knows that, and he accepts it, and I believe it. He's gonna be a really good player.
Stetson, what was it like flying in the back of a Blue Angel down there in Vidalia, and how did that get set up?
Yeah, that was the coolest thing I ever done, and probably ever will do. If you get a chance, do it. I mean, it was so random. It was my freshman year roommate, Nate McBride's mom, texted me. He's from Vidalia. He texted my mom, was like, hey, these Blue Angels want to do something. They're thinking about, Stetson from Blackshear, real close to Vidalia. Would he want to fly with the Blue Angels? And mom was like, yeah, let me ask him. And she asked me, and I was like, yeah, I would love to do that. I mean, it was so cool. I mean, they start off slow because they don't know. They want to make you pass out, and I was nervous about passing out or throwing up. I didn't want to embarrass myself. And then towards the end, we flew for 45 minutes. Towards the end, he looked in the back and heard him on the intercom. And he's all right. Well, we're gonna hit as many G's as this plane can pull and get as close to the speed of sound as we can. And so we hit it, and we hit 7.4 Gs, and he's in the back. He's like, what do you think that was? And I was like, 7.4, that's what you told me. And he's like, he gave out a whoop. Like, he was excited, and I was fired up. I never felt anything like it. And then immediately I went home and watched Top Gun. And
Your life has changed so much from this time last year, on the field, off the field, and all that you're talking about. Is your life more different off the field with Blue Angels versus that you go with, or is it more different within the football program, being a leader on the team?
I don't really. Both of them are different and similar in the same ways. My off the field schedule, off the field, more people know me, but it's the same schedule. I mean, I spend a lot of time at Buttsmere here at Charlton, right? Like a lot of time. And so I don't go out in the world, and I think it's a good thing just because, I try to focus on what's important, which is football, right? Like that stuff, that's cool, but that's gravy. All of it's gravy. The important thing, the reason why I'm here is to throw the football to people who can make plays with it, right? That's the end of the day. So probably the thing that I can't say which is more different, but I'd say that I'm more excited about actually playing football instead of last year when I wasn't at this time, so.
Stetson, can you put into perspective how much Georgia football's changed since 2017 when Georgia won the SEC title? I think you're one of only 3 guys that were a part of that team. What are some of the differences you see in the culture now that it's all Kirby guys?
There's different guys, different things, but I think Coach Mark did such a great job coming in year one, which I wasn't there, but I could see it year 2 of his, that yes, he didn't recruit some of those guys, but they had bought in, right? That's why we're so good in 17, because even though the guys that were on the field were mainly guys that he didn't recruit, it was they'd still all bought in, right? They believed in what the plan was and what they were going to do. And so I wouldn't say the culture's changed too much. I'd say it was more surprising than whenever we went to the Rose Bowl than if it would be now, right? Just nature of being good for a longer time. But other than that, I'd say it's pretty similar.
I'll follow up then on offensive coordinator. I know there's a difference between Todd Monken and the other coordinators you played for at Georgia. What is it about Coach Monken that makes him so effective and successful?
I think it's his just ability to be so anal about the details, right? Good Lord, he's intense, but I love it. That's how you're good on offense, right? It's timing, it's in zone and spacing. I mean, man, you just got to win. But like it's all about those little details that if you don't know the game, then you miss. But that's what he is so good at. It's just you've done it 50 times, right? But that 51st one, you got to do it the same as you did the 20th, right? That's just how it's got to be consistent and detailed. And we had quarterbacks and skill position have to be on the same page. Quarterbacks and offensive line, and the hots, just everything. So I think that's what he does best.
Coach Smart said that you're one of the least respected good players in the country, and people keep doubting you. Do you care, or does that motivate you?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I care more about being good and people thinking that I'm good, right? So, I mean, yeah. Am I competitive? Do I want to be the best in the country? Yeah, but not because people say I'm not, just because that's who I am. So.
Scott Cochran has been pretty public with his journey to sobriety on Twitter and talked about it. And Kirby addressed that today and just talked about what it's been like working with him. Did Coach ever talk to y'all either before he stepped away or after, at any point in that process? And what have y'all seen from him as he's working through that?
A lot of that stuff's pretty private, so I'm gonna keep that in house. But yeah, I mean he's been open with us. He's talked to us. He's let it know what's been going on and how he's been fighting with it. And I think it helps. It helps the players whenever when somebody's that open, who we respect and who we look up to and listen to and learn from. When they're that open, it kind of it helps us open up to each other or to him, whoever we want to. So I think it's been good that way.
Stetson, because last year's team, you lost so many players off last year's team, didn't seem like anybody's really talking about, hey, maybe they can repeat or whatever. Do you take anything from that, and just also, in your view, from what you've seen, what is the potential of this game?
I mean, I think with the way that this program's going right now, I think that, like I said earlier, that it would we expect it, right? We expect to win every game that we go play, just because of the work that we've done. It's not. I mean, we try to look at each opponent each week as nameless and faceless. As far as what the potential is, or buzzwords like we're gonna leave this right here. We're gonna go work out, and we're gonna throw, and we're gonna try to be 100%. Seb's gonna try to be 100% on his blocks and his calls, and that's what we're gonna do today. And then tomorrow we take another step.
You mentioned about being on the same page before with the offense here. How important is that for you, especially this year when there's so many new faces coming into the program here, and trying to defend the title here? How important is it going to be your job going to be trying to get everybody on the same page?
Well, I think it's going to be easier this year, just because. I mean, we really didn't lose that many guys on offense. I mean, the guys that we did lose are, great players, but the guys that we didn't, there's another year with Monk. It's year 3. I'm coming back in as the starter, and just keep working every single day and getting better. And not being satisfied. I think it helps out.
Stetson, can you quick hit some of the other guys in that quarterback room? Just give us a little breakdown of what you've seen from them.
Yeah, I mean, Carson's Carson. He's been there for a while. He knows his stuff. He's a really good player. Brock, tough as nails, got a rocket. Gunner came in, wants to learn, fight everybody, every single one of them competitors, I really like our quarterback room, and I think it was a testament to how me and JT handled everything that happened last year. To we are boys, we're close, and we'll go play golf, and less pride, more about team.
Nolan Smith with Daily Morning News. I just got one question. Who's your favorite outside linebacker that you compete with every day?
Probably Bobby Beal.
Bobby.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know, sir. Thank you very much.
What do you remember about Billy Napier recruiting to ULM?
Yeah. Coach Napier's a good guy. And, he's got Coach Peaks down there who's on the staff now, and he was our scout team head coach my freshman year. We had this thing where, God, we took pride in it too, man. We tried to, make Coach Smart so mad. He'd make this highlight reel every day after practice and call it curb stomp, and every time, either we had to he wanted us to repeat a play because we beat the defense, or he's slamming his hat on the on the grass, just getting mad. We took pride in that. I think Coach Napier's a really good coach. He's a great guy. I enjoyed all the time that we had.
Did you seriously consider going to Lafayette?
I did. I woke up that morning planning on signing there.
And what
I got a
happened?
phone call from University of Georgia.
Okay.
Stetson Kirby said he feels like you might have more support from the offense this year. They know you're the guy, like that kind of thing being the question guy. Do you sense that? Do you feel more comfortable as the leader of the offense? I guess Mike said that leader of the team.
Yeah, I feel like if, I think this narrative will hopefully go away pretty soon. Start, most games, win a national championship, I think he'll be a good guy.
Stetson, what have you seen out of Arico versus